I want you to think about the answer to two questions. How would you answer these? And then I'm going to hear some of your answers in just a moment if you would like to call them out. Question number one is, what was the best Christmas gift you ever received? Think about that for a minute. And then the second question is like it. What was the worst Christmas gift that you have ever received? And as I say, I'll ask you for answers in just a moment. Shortly, we're going to hear Beth come back and sing for us a beautiful song called The Best Part, which speaks of Jesus as the first Christmas gift. The words include this: wrapped in peace, tied with love, a son was given and a child was born. What a gift we have in Jesus. He is worth more than silver, more precious than gold, even more priceless than treasures untold. So we lay down our lives and let his story unfold. And of everything, Jesus, you're the best part. We love many things about Christmas: the time spent with family and friends, the time of looking forward to spending time with family, and also this time of, because we've all got at least one person in our family, the time of leaving that person and then not seeing them for another year. But that's a little side thought. Time spent with family and friends, the yummy food, the twinkling Christmas lights. I love going down certain streets around the Bayside area where you know everyone kind of gets the Christmas spirit and lights up their homes, Christmas lights, and of course the gifts, which leads me back to our two questions. What is, or what might be, the worst Christmas gift you've ever received? Do I have anyone that want to answer that? Yes? Socks are the worst, aren't they? Socks. I know, I'm right with you, right next to you. You got what? Oh, really? Weird. Trinity? Oh, okay. Trinity just said that Christy got one of her dolls that she already had and wrapped it and gave us. That's, your mum's normally really generous. Oh, she forgot that she'd already given it to you. That's really weird. Anyone over here? Worst Christmas gift you've ever received? No? No? Anyone in the middle? Over here? Yes. Oh, a Vulcan race? Oh, a broken racing car. That's terrible. Was that from mum or dad? No. from that family member that I was talking about before. Anyone else? Yes. Oh no, a Sesame Street hat when you're 16. That's just plain embarrassing. Sandra? A pimple popper? That really, I think you win the prize if there was one. Flick?
Early in our marriage, my husband bought me a potato peeler.
Her husband bought her a potato peeler just after you were married.
Yeah, and he was so excited about it, he couldn't even wait till Christmas Day to tell me. And he was so excited.
Where is Ian? He was so excited about giving her a potato peeler for Christmas. A green potato peeler. Why? Is green is your favourite colour. So he bought you a green potato peeler. That is bizarre, isn't it? Like, I would never buy anything like that for Christy. Anything like connected with housework, you know, or cooking or anything. It's just not a gift, is it? Because you know, nah. Anyone else? Worst? What about the best Christmas present you've ever been given? Anyone over here? Yeah, Marianne? Was it a kitten? Oh, beautiful. That's of course if you like cats. Otherwise, that to me would be, you know, like the worst Christmas present. No. It's okay, cat people. Don't get offended at me, all right? Just dogs are better. That's all. Thank you. Dogs have owners, cats have staff, and we just need to realise that, right? Best Christmas gift? Oh, awesome. Tickets to Ed Sheeran concert. That was great. and a trampoline. What, from Mummy and Daddy? You have great parents. I mean, we knew that anyway, right? Another one? Di? Sorry? You got a husband for Christmas. Right. And then, and this is Russ, I'm taking this is Russ. Yeah, this is, okay. Awesome. Great gift. In the middle? Oh, Alice. Alice's first date with Charles for Christmas. Beautiful. That's all feel good. Trent? Barbie caravan, yes. Anyone else? Young man? You got a trampoline? Anyone else? Asha? A what? A basketball ring. Okay, that's great. Did you push the truck through that didn't work? So, no. Anyone else? All right. So, one more. A baby boy. Oh, beautiful. I love that. There's some real feel-good answers. Thank you for the worst and the best Christmas gifts. Even the best Christmas gift, though, will pale compared to the true heart of Christmas, and that is Jesus. And I want to just take a couple of minutes right now, or a few minutes, explaining the answer to that, because the answer is all wrapped up in who Jesus is and what that means to each of us. To explain this, I want to just spend a few minutes telling you about my fish and my fish pond. At the front of our house, we have a fish pond, and there are 4 fish in there. So I like dogs, and we've got 2 of those. And we did have 5 fish. And we've had 5 fish for many, many years. And then earlier this year, one of them died, which was very sad. And I had to go and fish it out. And bury it. All right, so one of my kids is here, so... Now, when we got the fish several years ago, I've got to explain something to you just before I go on here. Our kids brought up something with us many, many years ago, because Christy and I would often, when we were speaking, we would share stories of our children. And then they said to us one day, we're not so sure that we want you using us as sermon illustrations. And so we did what any good, self-respecting parent would do. We bribed them. And so we said to them, right, okay, what about this for a deal? Every time we mention a story but not your name, we'll give you $10. And then every time we mention a story but we do mention your name, we'll give you $20. Does that sound all right to you? And they agreed. So from there on in, we have rarely used our children as sermon illustrations, because otherwise we would be broke. But tonight, Trinity, come on up, please. This is my baby, who just turned 16. Love you.
I turned 16 in May, Dad.
I know you turned 16 in May, but say hi to the people.
Hi, everyone.
Beautiful. She's gorgeous. When she was younger, she used to have to come up. Some of you who've been around Bayside for a long time, you'll remember her coming up on the platform with me. And she'd be standing on the front row and say, can I come on the platform with you? I said, yeah. So I should have charged her money. But she was a lot younger. So anyway, we got the fish. We got 5 fish several years ago. Trinity, I don't know how old she was at the time. Maybe, 9, 10, something like that. And she was an absolute mad keen Shawn Mendes fan. And so, in fact, I took her to the concert, Shawn Mendes concert, a few years ago. I'm that dad. I've been the token dad there was probably about 4 or 5 of us at the Shawn Mendes concert. And the rest, where there's a few token mums, and then thousands of screaming teenage girls. It was crazy. And the other thing I did for my other 2 daughters, Georgia Grace and Paris, now I owe them $20 each. Don't tell, I won't say anything if you don't. And I took them to One Direction. And it took about a week for my ears to recover from that. I just felt like yelling out, would you all sit down and be quiet? because they actually were great singers and the music was fabulous and I just wanted to listen. But apparently screaming is better. So Trinity was mad keen for Shawn Mendes, so I brought these 5 fish home and I said to her, okay, you get to name them. And she said, well, I'm going to call them all Shawn. Which actually has been really convenient because if you know goldfish, it's actually very hard to tell them apart because they're all the same color and you actually don't know what one's a male and what one's a female. So we just called them all Shawn. But I suggested, and they agreed, or Trinity agreed, that they would all be spelled differently. So there's S-E-A-N, Shawn. There's S-H-A-U-N, Shawn. There's S-H-A-W, Shawn, which is Shawn as in Shawn Menendez. Then there's S-H-A-W-N-E. And then there's the girl one, because I thought out of 5 fish, there had to be at least one girl there, but you can't tell. And so we called her Shauna. And I think it was Shauna who died earlier this year, but I'm actually not sure. So I love these fish, and I think they love me. I get into the pond about once every week or two to clean it out, to clean the filters and everything. And whenever I get in there with my gumboots, they swim around my feet. So they feel very comfortable and very at home, and I'm incredibly careful because the last thing you want to hear is that unmistakable crunching sound of, oh no, which one's that? Oh, it was Shawn. And of course, when I go out there in the morning, I feed them 2-3 times a week, just sprinkle the food across, and they all swim over to see me and to get their food. And I don't know what they're thinking. I have no idea. I mean, what happens when a fish goes to school? For example, and about 3 people got that. Do they discover who I am and what I'm doing? Do they make up stories about this massive dude who sprinkles food? Do they discuss it amongst themselves? Have they made up stories about this guy who is giving them literally manna from heaven several times a week? Sometimes in their discussions they might be right about me, but at other times they might be wrong. People have been like that with God for centuries. There are many stories about God, and some of them are accurate. I could only actually end up fully communicating with my fish and getting to know them and them getting to know me if I was born as a fish. And let's think about that for a moment, because that is something that is not high on my bucket list. I really don't want to do it. I don't want to become a fish, even though I love my fish. I don't want to leave all the comforts that I enjoy, the comforts of my home, our comfortable bed and my favorite pillow and the couch and the warmth in the wintertime around the fire and all about that. I don't want to leave the job that I love doing and have been doing now for several decades. I enjoy my life and all that it entails. And I wouldn't want to leave the comforts of all that. But that's what I'd have to do if I wanted my fish to really know who I am, what I'm like, and how much I love and care for them. And I tell this story because this is what God did for us. Listen to these words from the Bible, just one line. Though Jesus was God, he gave up his divine privileges and was born as a human being. Wow. Just as if I was born as a fish, swimming around in a cold fish pond, wet, cold. It wouldn't be my normal environment. It would not be something that I would look forward to, and yet that's what God has done for us. God was born as a human, known as Jesus. Jesus is God in a body. When we read about Jesus in the Gospels, we discover what God is really like, not what people thought he was like. We find a man who has experienced everything we encounter, all the highs and the lows of life, and has great empathy for us as a result. This holiday season, I encourage you to experience the best part of Christmas, and that is Jesus. The four Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, at the beginning of the New Testament, introduce him to us. And at the back of the auditorium at the Get Connected area, I mentioned earlier the white bags for those of you who are visiting Bayside this evening. But in the middle section, you'll see there some blue bags, a kind of a Tiffany blue color. But inside those bags is something far more valuable than jewelry, and that is a Bible. There's some other info for you as well. And I invite you, if you would like to find out a little bit more about what I'm talking about, that you go and grab one of those packs on the way out. And then let us know if we can help you answer questions or help you on your journey of discovery. I mentioned the Gospels at the beginning of the New Testament. There's Matthew, then there's Mark, there's Luke, and there's John. And I would encourage you over this Christmas season to read the Gospel of Mark. It's the shortest of the four, and he moves really, really quickly. Introduces you to Jesus. He shows you what Jesus did, what Jesus taught, how he acted toward people, and more importantly than anything else, how Jesus introduces us to God. It was as if I got into my fish pond as a fish and met face to face, and they got to know me and I got to know them. God has done that for us by being born into the human family 2,000 years ago, interacting with people, them getting to know him getting to know them, getting to know what it's like to be human. And so God knows that now. He's got that knowledge. He has that experience of knowing what it's like to be human. And so please get to know him. The wise men searched for Jesus and found him. He doesn't hide from any of us. I encourage you to seek him too. I want to finish this with a poem that is a Christmas letter from Jesus. When you look for me at Christmas, you won't need a special star. I'm no longer just in Bethlehem. I'm right here where you are. You may not be aware of me amid the celebrations. You'll have to look beyond the stores and all the decorations. But if you take a moment from your list of things to do to close your eyes and say a prayer, I'm waiting here for you. You're the one I want to be with. You're the reason that I came. And you'll find me in the stillness where I'm whispering your name. Can I encourage you to get to know Jesus? Because he is and always will be the best part of Christmas.